Yo, what is up, and welcome back to another video of mine. That's been a while, hasn't it? Oh well. Well, what I thought I would do for like a small comeback is the NoTrackLimits idea generator, but for Planet Coaster. So essentially just copying Corvus, which is what we strive to do on this channel. But yeah, I have an announcement at the end of this video, so wait for that or just skip through it if you just don't care for whatever this is. But yeah, I want like an idea, and then I'm going to do it. That's like a short build, like 2 to 3 hours. Nothing like crazy or anything. Just something to bridge the gap. Alright. Okay. I already set it up. I don't really care about anything, just I don't I don't really have any preferences or something. Like I do, but I just want it to be completely random. And I also want some restrictions. That will be fun. Alright, let's see. A B&M Hyper. Oh god, this is going to take a while, right? 277 feet. Okay, that's a bit high. But it could be kind of cool. So, trenches. Oh, actually trenches on a Hyper. That, like a trench section? Or like maybe like something just like Kumba has with like tiny trenches. I actually think like actual trenches like Montu, like the second half of Montu, like something like that could be really cool on a Hyper. Flat turnaround, or like a hammerhead, or is it just like a curve? I need to research that. And high in the air turn, what is that? Is it like after like the lift? Is it like just simply having a turn into like a high spot? That could be very weird. S turnaround, see intimidate. So is this like what? Is this like a switchback turnaround? I need to research. What are those names? A double up could be cool on the B&M Hyper, and no small fast floater hill. All right, small fast ejector hill there. Okay, I can't do that. It's not accurate. Miscellaneous objection. The full thing is it's in a giant hole. All right, we're building an inverted coaster around 80 feet tall. Okay, what we have to do is include an overbank turn. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard. An implement into a helix. Sure. A Stengal dive. Yes. Nice spelling. Well, I mean, I can't be one to judge. A pretzel knot. I mean, that could be cool. A dive loop. Like, sure. Why not? Cantoon drop. Isn't that like this one like new gen B&M? So it's going to be like a new. I mean, it has a pretzel knots and something. Oh yeah, it's going to be and a barrel low. Yeah, okay, it's a new gen. Only 80 feet tall though. Maybe I can work with like terrain or something. Like 80 feet, which is like what is that in meters? Like 25, 22, and then so many inversions. Like you, large corkscrew. How can I get a large corkscrew of 80 feet? And an Immelman. And a small loop in the second half, like Montu and Kraken. I mean, yeah, but how can I have a second half of 80 feet? And a Cobra roll and intense helix, and the whole thing is in the giant hole. Actually, that can work. Alright, we're building that. No redos anymore. Let's go. Alright, here we are in game, and I think we're going to start with building the, well, I guess it's going to be like a hole, or like, it's going to be on the side of a hill. My idea is something like the Voyage, where it just essentially starts up high and then just goes lower down, because like we're going to have to fit, how many inversions is it? Like, at least 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to have to fit at least 7 inversions in there. Like, that's normal for like a big scale B&M. And it's only going to be 80 feet tall, so we know you need something like that. And I kind of like the idea of just having it like slightly go downhill. I also like to let that even say that try to write the following in Cobra roll. Like, yeah, we're definitely going to need 2 more inversions into this. But yeah. Right, I'll get to it. We'll see us in a bit. Alright, after a bit of fiddling around, we've now got Anvil. Yeah, it doesn't look that pretty, but I mean, it's functional, and that's all I really care about at this point. I mean, I also didn't go like too far because we have so many like inversions that will just turn around the coaster, so... Well, let's see what we can do. Alright, time for the time-lapse. Alright, I may have messed up a little bit. Cantoon isn't the new gen. It's actually an old gen. It just has like a weird like drop where it's curved drop, but it's only curved like it isn't a turnaround drop. It's a little bit weird though, I just emulated that right there. But yeah, other than that, what I really wanted to do is do the elements in order of what's set. So I really want to add like the Cantoon drop into the overbank, and then go into the Immelman. And as you can see right there, I might have overstepped the boundaries a little, like I might have gone a little bit too high though. They actually set around 80 feet, and I mean it's very well still in the spirit of the challenge. Right there I also added in the Stangle dive, though it's not really much of a Stangle dive, but well, it's close enough, and I think it's done in the spirit of the challenge. I mean, I really just wanted to like fit the spirit of the challenge really, like I keep repeating myself, but it's supposed to just feel like the thing the random generator was going for, and just interpret it in a nice way instead of just acting like it's something else. But yeah, let's add it like in a pretzel knot. I mean, and then afterwards, well, I had to do the like a dive loop. And I just really wanted to then go into like the brakes, and I really wanted the mid course to be just like above like everything, like the like essentially like a spaghetti ball, but not really spaghetti ball section, but I wanted it to go like through the pretzel knob and be like above the like helix thing after the first Immelman. And first of all, I wanted to make the barrel roll be like slower paced, like the one with Banshee, but then I just went for like a faster paced one. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much, I guess, but at the end of the day, I just feel like it flows nicer into the layout, like the rest of the layout. And I also added like the large corkscrew to be like going above the barrel roll, so going through that slowly would like into like a rollback or something. That actually has like more hang time at the final half, which is mainly because I also need to add like an Immelman and a vertical loop, like a small vertical loop into the layout, and I only had like 50 meters or that like around like 50 feet of space to work with, so I had to be like quite tight inversions, and you typically then get a hang time because you don't want to just go in too fast into anything. But yeah, and also for the loop I set into my mind that I really wanted it to go through the brake run, like the final brakes. So I just quickly moved the station over, and then I tried to add a loop, and I struggled a bit with that because it shouldn't be too tight and also shouldn't be too circular. In the end, I think I've gone for a nice compromise, and while it doesn't have like any like crazy G's or something, I think it's still like a pretty good loop, especially for like the size. I mean, it only worked like with 15 meters. And so to finish it right off, I just simply did a quick turnaround into like another like smaller section. Like a small like overbank kind of deal, like not really like overbank, that's like a normal, not an overbank, a normal bank. Oh yeah, I also fixed the loop up right there, and I'm going to fix the brake run later on, just don't worry. It's also not smooth like anything and at this point. Oh yeah, I also realized that I probably would have to move the mid-course a bit, but yeah. And then just added the normal bank, and well, that's it for the time-lapse. Alright, the bowling section is done now. All I have to do now is just move this coaster out, and maybe like improve some shaping a bit. Like, I mean, some of the things that's a little bit misshapen, but I'm going to do that off camera, especially like the Stangle dive right here. Like, what even is this? But yeah, I'm quite happy with how this entire build turned out, and I think I'm actually going to put more effort into it than I initially thought, so maybe it's not just going to be a casual 2 to 3 hour thing, but I'm not going to fully custom support it. I'm mostly going to use the in-game supports, but I want to custom support some things that the in-game ones just look bad at or whatever they can't reach. Or like, for example, like something like the loop supports I'm probably just going to do custom because they look way better. But yeah, I still am unhappy with a few bits of the layout, though in general I'm quite happy with how this turned out. So we'll see us after it's done. Alright, it is done now. I've chosen for like Alpine kind of theme. I didn't really put that much effort into it. I call it Alpenteufel. It's a bit of a joke on something, well, German, but that you probably wouldn't know about. But I just thought it was a nice name, and it's also like kind of like a rip-off of Alpengeist. Yeah, I did some little bit of custom supporting. You can see for the loops especially, though I didn't really put too much effort into it. Like, this is how the switch track looks. I mean, yeah. But now I'm actually kind of happy with how it turned out. I built like a bit of a station and the shed. And I smoothed it a bit. It should be a little bit smoother now, but there's still some little bit scuffed parts though. I wouldn't really... I mean, I put 3 hours into it. I didn't want to put too much effort into like a randomly generated coaster. I really want to put more effort into the thing I'm going to announce at the end, so... I think we're just going to make the, well, normal thing of just a POV and then orbit off-right, and then you can just see the entire thing for yourself. Alright, in summary, I'd say I'm quite happy with how this coaster turned out. There are some, well, problematic bits that I don't really like. I mean, the ride loses a bit of speed at the end, and I mean, I feel like some stuff I haven't quite, well, done correctly. I mean, for example, like the canton drop, I couldn't really get that completely right, though. I mean, it's as close as I can get. That overbank is only very slightly overbanked, and especially like that stangle dive. I mean, that it's not really a stangle dive though. I didn't really know what to do with it. But overall, I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out. I mean, it's certainly a very interesting coaster, and if I put more effort into it, I think it could have been like a very, very good one though. Honestly, I want to put more effort into, well, this.